Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Engine Shed. My apologies for not putting up any videos of late. There's been a few financial problems and whatnot, but we've dealt with that. Every time something like that happens, usually you got to put the layout last, and that's exactly what's happened in this case. But anyway, we're back. We've got some really good stuff to show you this time. Before I start, I'll start like I always start by thanking my new subscribers. One of the funny things is I found out very recently was that the channel went from 90 subscribers to 128 subscribers in the space of a week, and I didn't think that was true. So what actually turned out happening was that there was a problem with YouTube's notifications, so I didn't actually know that there were any new subscribers until very recently. So yeah, but anyway, it's a happy surprise, but thank you to every single one of the new subscribers. I appreciate your support. So anyway, let's get stuck in. So today, something very, very special. A long time ago, I said I was going to get one of these, and I finally got my hands on one of these. So let's talk about it. But for those of you who can't see what this is a Dapol Class 68 diesel electric locomotive in DRS livery. Now, I wanted one of the original ones, and I just simply couldn't get my hands on one. And people were selling these on eBay for like $400. The DCC ready versions, $400. All right. And you know, there were people out there who were buying them, but I knew that Dapol was definitely going to do a second and third and fourth run of these locomotives. But anyway, first impressions straight away, and I just literally received this in the post this morning. So this was purchased from Hatton's, and I've got a few other things I will show you in the next video. That's yet to come. But anyway, so packaging is really nice. This is very reminiscent of the Helgen style packaging. It's got this nice foamy insert. Documentation, so far so good. What have we got? So we've got a 24-month repair warranty. That's really impressive because most manufacturers don't even include a warranty in any of their products. Hornby, I'm looking at you, and Bachman, you're not that far behind. Alrighty. Okay, so this is one of these things I was told about very recently was the Dapol 68 has got these unique halo lights which you can only use with a special 6-function decoder, which I believe only a couple of people make. But anyway, I've only got a 4-function 21-pin decoder at this stage. This locomotive will be sound chipped. I'm going to do a video in the future talking about Lego Man Biffo sound, and I'm going to show you a video of how I installed one of these really impressive EM2 speakers, which is those ridiculously good bass speakers that you can get for model locomotives now. Excuse me. Alright. So, really nice packaging. Probably a little bit overkill, honestly, but I'm so used to opening Hornby stuff that it probably is for the best. Really heavy. So let's just get this paperwork in this box out of the way. Okay, how do I get this open? Alright, so we've got our sleeve. What's really interesting is that they've got foam inside of a sleeve, inside of foam, inside of a sleeve. So, I don't know, it must be made of bloody special gold or titanium or something valuable must be in this thing for it to be packed like that. But anyway, I can't complain. That's really impressive packaging. So we've got our little accessories bag, a bag with etched nameplates, really cool. So this particular model is Avenger. One thing I really like about these locomotives is they got really good names like Avenger, Astute, Intrepid. The Class 88, which is the electric equivalent of this, has got really, really good names as well. I think the flagship of that class is Prometheus. So spectacular names. It's sort of going back to an old school way of thinking, which is what British Rail used to do with a lot of their locomotives as well. Excuse me. So we've got our accessories bag. We've got our air dam, our brake pipes, and a few other little bits and bobs, some NEM sockets. Outside of that, it's nothing out of the ordinary, what you typically expect with a locomotive. Okay, moment of truth. Man, that's heavy. Let's just put that down. Get rid of this satin paper. Okay. So this is what's pretty common. These just pop off. Man, the detail on this is ridiculous. Okay. So you'll see straight away on this camera, this is a new camera by the way, so you can probably very easily pick up the detail that I'm seeing right now. But holy crap, that is impressive. You can see the holes in the disc brakes, just the detail on the bogie is ridiculously good. The doors don't open. That was always something that I thought Hornby made very pointless about their locomotives. Those stupid opening doors. But look at the detail. Look at the roof detail, the fans, the exhaust. Oh, spectacular. Crooked buffer, but it's okay. So this is actually my very first DRS locomotive. I've been wanting to get something like this for ages, and this is a really nice livery. This is one of my favourite modern image liveries of the period at the moment. But it's bloody beautiful. So 68 008. Wouldn't it be good if I got 007, but I didn't anyway. So really nice. So we've got fully detailed on one end, and we've got a tension lock coupler on the other end. That's obviously going to get changed out to a KD coupler, but it's nice that they've done that for you. Really nice that they've done that for you. Now we'll have a quick look at how we crack this open, because I don't believe this is as straightforward as it probably should be. We'll just get a locomotive cradle. Always consult your instructions. It's always my principal piece of advice to anyone who buys a new locomotive, anyone who's new or even experienced in the hobby. Always check your instructions. So our instructions yet again on how to install this DCC decoder. That's not what I want. That's also not what I want. Okay, running in first use, so it gives you a running in guide, which is awesome. So again, if you have a rolling road, I recommend using a rolling road, because you don't want to put locomotives that are brand new out of the box. They've probably been in storage for about 6 to 8 months. You just want to put them on a rolling road where they're not under load, where the motor can just bed and the gears can just get a nice lubrication through the system, and then you're all good. Okay, so there's no screws. This is just held on with body clips. So this is very similar to the Class 60 that Hornby does. There's no screws underneath that chassis. It's just held on with body clips. So with very light fingernail pressure on either side, we should be able to pry the body off. And I'm hoping this is not going to backfire on me in the camera, but anyway, we'll see how we go. So with just these, I like to just get under there like that. Just let the weight of the chassis fall out. It's probably going to be a lot harder than I thought. I might have to cut, guys, and just get back to you when I get this bloody body off, because this is probably going to be a 10-minute job just by looking at. Oh no, here we go. It nearly fell out then. That's good. That's what you want. Yep. All right. I'm going to cut and I'll come back to you guys in just a bit. All right. Okay, guys, we're back. Sorry about that. That was a hell of a wrestling match. That's not as easy as it probably could be, but doesn't matter. I'm just being a fusspot. So the only decoder I've got left to use is one of these Zen decoders. These are really good little decoders, guys. DCC concept stuff is always pretty good. The next video I'm going to be doing is just probably a general update, but I'm also going to be talking about some supercapacitors. So these little DCC decoders come with these little flicker-free units, which are just tiny little, you can see it right there, this is just a tiny little capacitor that stops the headlights from flickering when it goes over bad track work. So DCC Concepts very recently released some proper proper super capacitors, which will keep the train running for what they claim to be 2 meters. Which got me interested because, as you probably are aware, if you have something like a Bachmann A1, a Bachmann A2, a Hornby P2 even, where the locomotive has just got pickups on the central driving wheels, it's a real pain in the ass trying to get those. Even with electroflow points, it's really difficult for those things to just operate smoothly, just in general, unless you're running them on DC, which that's just my experience. Of course, everyone has their own experience, so you don't have to just rip my head off for saying that. But anyways, so finger pressure. Just gonna have to come back, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Just had to fix up the 21-pin socket. Generally, this doesn't normally happen when you do this, but you got to be very careful when you lift off these blanking plates. It's very easy just to bend one of the little pins, and that's exactly what just happened there before. So I've done a quick repair job, really gently just bent it back into position, and we've installed the decoder. So we don't need to put a capacitor or a flicker-free unit on this because this is quite a large locomotive. The wheelbase is more than enough. It'll always pick up power, so I'm not worried about that. Talking about these switches now, according to the instructions, you have to switch both of these 2 switches here for the cab lighting, and then there's these 2 micro switches here which also control something else. I'm not entirely sure yet what that is, but we'll find out in a very short space of time. So anyway, that's the install done. Just got to very gently prise the body back on, making sure it's on the right way. And again, I just said before, this is a real mother of a thing to get the chassis on and off. So just be real careful when you're putting that sucker back on. So I'm going to put it back on the rolling run. I'll show you how I program a logo with the ESU ECOS as well. So that'll be something additional to this video. Okay folks, welcome back. So we've got the Class 68 on the rolling road ready to go. So with an ESU ECOS, it's really easy just to create a new locomotive. So we can just go to our call up, and what we want to do is go to new loco, which is right there. So we'll create that manually. Alright, now this is where it gets really good with the ESU. So the ESU's got this awesome inbuilt feature where it'll actually scan the existing DCC decoder to determine what exactly you have got in this system at the moment. So all you need to do is just go to advanced and then select the little I, and from there you just go start. And then you need to make sure that down the bottom you've got programming track selected. Don't worry about leaving live on, and you should be able to see the locomotive, or you should at least hear the locomotive's motor kicking over. And I can just hear it. So what will also confirm it is if you get the manufacturer's make number coming up on the screen here after it's scanned what's on the track. So in this case it's correct because it's a DCC Concepts decoder. It's just a generic NRMA with 35 CV, so that's all correct. So it'll go through and do that, and once it does that, it'll produce the default CV, which is always default CV address of number 3. So we're nearly done. Okay, you'll get a decoder read success thing. When we come back, you need to go here. Now this is where it gets interesting. You can choose 28 speed steps, enable railcom if it's available, long DCC address. Now this is probably relevant to most people because if you don't use that, you can only use the default 1 to 127 address. So you don't want that. Just don't trust me when I say you don't need to worry about that. So when you go into here, you can renumber your locomotive. In this case, I'm going to name it 6801. Enter. And that's how you read write a well, that's how you enter a new CV value. So again, when we go back to create loco, you'll see that the new address is entered, and you can obviously rename the locomotive down here. So we'll do that. We'll just call this Avenger. Okay, easy as that. Bang, done. Now to make sure that your read write has been successful, just do the scan again, and if it is successful, you just go back to your DC or your CV address menu and make sure that the address is actually 6800, 6801. And if that's the case, it should respond to the address 6801. We'll just wait for that to go through and do that now. On a side note, while we're waiting, just keep in mind, especially if you've got the newer 5210, 5210, I can't even remember what the bloody number for this here ECOS is, but this power supply comes with a fan, so you need to make sure that this fan is well ventilated, because you can hear it. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I've had this running for a while and it's already spooling up, so you've got to make sure you've got good ventilation to your power pack, so just keep that in mind. Right, so decoder read success. Let's go to the menu and see if this has actually worked. And there you have it, 6801. So now if we go back to create loco, we should be able to just go, okay, we're done. And let's see if the lights turn on. And do they? Interesting. So let's see what's going on. Oh, okay, so yeah, this is occasionally what happens with the ECOS. You just got to be careful because it'll probably just go, oh, default address is 1. So just edit your loco and then put the correct address back in, otherwise it won't change correctly. I don't know why it does that, but anyway. So let's see if the lights came on now. So we have tail lights, and no headlights. So that's obviously got to do with the switches. So you can see the tail lights are on. And no headlights. So I'll just do a quick investigation, see what's going on with that, guys, and I'll get back to you. We'll just do a couple of little light running videos and we'll show you. So I'll see you in a bit.